Good afternoon. Welcome back to Passionate World Talk Radio Network, a wholly owned subsidiary of Global Media Network, LLC. And this afternoon on Scam DamNation with your host, Lillian Cauldwell, we are going to talk about the 5 new frightening cyber scams to look out for in 2025. And we should all remember that with artificial intelligence now being used to create a lot of the new scams, that they are more sophisticated and more cleverer than ever. But it doesn't mean that you cannot take precautions. The Global Anti-Scam Allowance reports that in 2024, scammers stole over $1.03 trillion, a trend that will probably increase and continue in 2025. In 2024, scams were dominated by the use of artificial intelligence, and we can assume then that artificial intelligence will still be used. So it highlights your need to be aware of the new emotional and psychological paradigms to counter evolving and sophisticated scams. Now, the old scams don't disappear. They just evolve using the newer technology, which means that the best way to stay protected is to be aware. I will help you become aware with these 5 new frauds that will dominate this year, but they all share a common thread: red flags that will help you identify them when you come across them. What kind of patterns should you be looking for? Unsolicited communication through phone calls, text messages, or email. Communication creates a sense of urgency, such as hot selling commodity, an expiring investment opportunity, or even a warning before sharing explicit images of the user, basically the threat of consequences if you don't take action. Requests for money transferred to an escrow account, requests to download an obscure app, requests to click on a link via email, SMS, social media, etc., spelling mistakes or out-of-place colloquialisms, spelling mistakes or out-of-place words, and video messages that have unusual pauses, different accents, or a different pitch or face movement that doesn't match the sound. So the first one are those robocalls that everyone receives, and they are the top of the list for scammers. The fact that smartphones can access the internet makes it easy for these scammers to redirect unsuspecting users to sites that will install malware on your phone. Other tactics involve to clone your voice of anyone with only a few seconds of their natural speech recording. And thanks to this type of evolution, robocalls sound increasingly more personal and natural, making them harder to detect. The calls range in content from vocation offers to issues or threats that require your immediate attention. I've had them. My dead spouse has had them. You should be aware because they require your immediate attention. The goal of the scammer is to get a range of information from you to outright taking your money from you. And these type of scams and diverse approach will give rise to SIM swipe scams. This type of scam looks to target the weakness in two-factor authentication, where the second verification step is a code sent via SMS. The scammers use this information that they gather on callers to call their service provider using robocalls to persuade the phone service provider to transfer the victim's phone number to the fraudster's SIM card. This can result in users losing service on the SIMs and all messages and calls going to the attackers. Additionally, you may see a rise in one-time password bot attacks. They may try to use it to log into your bank, prompting the bank to send you a one-time code. And at the same time, the bot will call you, text you, or send you an email to inquire about the code. And the timing will be convenient in an attempt to convince you that the request is legitimate. But if you send your OTP, the scammers will get access to your account. Crypto investment scams. Thanks to another cryptocurrency bull run, we've already seen over $1.5 billion of crypto lost to scams or theft in just 3 months of 2025. Most of these tactics relate to this type of scam revolve around phishing, PHISHING attempts, or even social media ads with malicious links. In 2024, there was an increase in OTP bots on crypto exchanges, which also included some other types of phone-related scams. Another greater scam, however, related to crypto related, is tied to the investment aspect, playing on your insecurities, greed, and lack of financial education. Crypto is infamous for what is called a rug pull scam, where the founders pull out all of the funds from the project and leave retail investors holding a worthless coin and a dead project. A simple Google search will list a dozen examples of such crypto scams. So brush up on your financial literacy. In fact, ask AI what cryptocurrency, as explained to a 12-year-old, is all about, to help you remain vigilant and to help you avoid crypto-related scams. And we'll give you one more, romance scams, or what they call pig butchering, or romance baiting, known as pig butchering, might seem an intake in 2025 because of artificial intelligence, deep fake images, videos, and romance chatbots. The goal is to get you, the victim, to believe that there's a possibility of romance or dating, with the scammer sending message to you to establish trust and gain enough of it to convince the victim to share personal data or even send funds. At the start of this year, we witnessed a romance scam in France that involved deepfake images of Brad Pitt, which scammed the victim out of $850,000. Another variation of this scam involves sexual exploitation, also known as sextortion scam. Users, young girls, attractive persons of the opposite sex, pretend to be interested in the victim and would send them explicit content created by AI in an attempt to get explicit images of the victim. Sometimes gifts are offered in exchange for explicit content like gift cards, crypto coins. And once the scammers possess these images, They threaten the victim to send them images to their friends, family, classmates, unless a payment is made into an account. Most of these scams start with messages through social media or even dating apps, meaning that anyone can be a target. And some of them even go so far as to seek platonic relationships to establish deep-rooted trust before they look to exploit their victim. This means you need to be especially vigilant on these platforms to never share too much of your personal lives and never send funds to strangers online. Please go over to techradar.com and look for the title that will help you find the article. And the title is 5 New Frightening Cyber Scams to Look Out For in 2025. And it was published June 23rd, 2025, which is last week. I want to thank you very much for joining me this afternoon and learning about these new scams and how to protect yourself. And also to let you know that this program is sponsored by 2 places. One, Ruby, rubi.ai. Check it out, aiwithlillian.com. It'll take you to a web page where you can find all kinds of endorsements and testaments about this product, ruby.ai. Plus, you can take a demonstration of Ruby and then sign up for a monthly subscription. Artificial intelligence is not going to go away, folks. It is prevalent and will be used more and more. This program is also sponsored by Conscious Research Solutions. Check us out at passionworldtalkradio.com/research made simple blog. And you can read all the pain points that are associated with learning how to do proper research, basic, mid-level, and deep research. While you're there, sign up for a free 15-minute consult and learn how research in all its levels can help you obtain the information that everyone needs to have. And please, if you want to keep on hearing the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, go over to passionateworldtalkradio.com/donation and help this all women operated and owned internet talk radio station to remain online for another 19 years. Thank you very much and have a great remainder of the week.